All hell could be breaking loose, but your mindset is, if I don't handle this, who will? Because you know our butts are bootylicious big. We women are used to handling things, solving things, fixing things. God is invisible. Everything else we can see or have visibility into. We're too overstimulated with things in life, and that is the real problem. This is the Ever Airwaves Think podcast, brought to you by Live One Company, where we explore ideas that challenge, comfort, and clarify. I'm Liv, and in every episode, we break down life's complexities with intellect, insight, and a touch of curiosity. All right, we're on air. So a daily inspo reel popped up on my IG the other day. I've seen it before a while back, and ever so often, it resurfaces. This time I remembered to save it because it hit home for me. It made me perk up, and shout out to my algorithm, because my algorithm is algorithming. It's finally doing what it's supposed to do. Like, this is the type of content I like to see. I'm tired of seeing stuff that literally has me contemplating riding at dawn on some of the ish happening out here in this world. But let me refocus. The IG reel said, you relax on a bus when you don't know the driver. You relax on a plane when you don't know the pilot. You relax on a ship when you don't know the captain. So why don't you relax in life knowing that God is in control? And I felt that. That was the realest thing I've seen on my feed this week. The reel was reeling, okay, for me. Not the real keeping it real. But what a reality check though. Like, queens, I really feel like this was a reminder from God that we need to relax. Here it is, we keep trying to be in control when God is in control. Relax, calm down, and let go because God got the wheel. We get on buses, Ubers, taxis, planes, trains, and ships all the time. And we have no idea who the driver, the conductor, the captain, nor the crew, right? And now even also robots, right? Okay, but I'm a little nervous about them self-driving cars. Like, I'm always wondering if there's a little Dennis the Menace, worker of iniquity, aka a demon behind them self-driving car computers. I rebuke it in the name of Jesus. Like, I done seen too many accidents and wild incidents with them things on the news, but have you been in one? Do you own one? If so, do you like it? I mean, let a sis know. But as I was saying, we put our full trust in all these means of transportation to get us from point A to point B or wherever our final destination is. We don't know the credentials of these people operating and controlling these means of transportation. For real, I highly doubt any of you have pulled up on any of these people that operate commercial transportation and demanded to see their pilot, captain, or conductor's license. Now I will say I've seen some of y'all spazzing out. I've seen some of y'all spazzing out online on some of these planes, trains, and boats. Let me tell you, nothing is worth being put on the no-fly list. But yet, here we are. Some of y'all are on it, right? You banned for life for the foolery. I hope not, though. That's not soft life behavior. Like, we better than that, friends, right? But on the regular, though, most of us just go with the flow. We hop on and we literally surrender ourselves to these people that are supposedly qualified to take us where we need to go. And we pay for the service and we don't give it a second thought. Like, how can we have so much trust and faith in these people and these humans? I mean, let's be real. We're human ourselves and we are full of flaws, but we have full faith in them, but we don't even have faith in God, the creator and the master of the universe, of us, of all things. Like, make it make sense. Why are we so stressed out? Like, we're depressed. We stay worrying about everything. And some things even to the last detail when God is fully in control. we've got to do better. Like, we've got to relax. Like, we're too overstimulated with things in life. And that is the real problem. We out here playing co-pilot, GPS, and air traffic control all at once when it comes to our lives. But I need for you to take a deep breath for a second and chill. Like, this goes for me too. I'm not exempt because I can be a control freak at times. Like, I need to know, like, what's next? Why is this happening? How do I fix it? And there have been times where God has pulled up on me and said, enough. Enough, my child. And I'm sure for you too, because we're not the driver. God is. And I can confidently say God does not need us to be his side seat driver. And by the way, I hate side seat drivers. My mom is a side seat driver and she'll be like, you're going 3 miles per hour over the limit. And I think the police be sitting up there. I'd be like, look, do you want to get there on time or not? One of my uncles who used to be a police officer used to tell us that normally the cops don't really start caring until you start going over 5 miles over the speed limit, because more than likely the judge will throw it out. Like, so for me, mathematically, whatever the speed limit is, I've always added an extra 5 to that number and I never had an issue. Okay. All right. So see, look at me telling y'all all kinds of behind the wheel stuff and police secrets. Don't ever say I didn't tell you anything. You're welcome. For the last couple of years, I've been working on my queen of control and perfectionist behavior because I've been like this since I was a little girl. Like, I tend to have high standards, especially where others may be a little bit more relaxed. Even when I travel with family and friends, I've got everything planned, the itinerary set from every aspect of the trip. I'm doing random passport checks, luggage weight inspections, breakfast, lunch, and dinner times and places are set, okay? Planned excursions, and I have all the time blocks for everyone's free time incorporated too. They can't stand to see me coming, right? With my folder and my group chat in my other hand on my phone. They be like, Lord, here she come again with her daily checklist for everyone. But low key, they love it. Because, you know, if we don't do anything else, we're going to have a good time. I like to see what's in front of me way ahead so I can get in front of it. I want to be 10 steps ahead each and every time. I remember this one time where I had no control, and let me tell you what happened. I was fairly new to a major corporation I was working for, and no one had ever been able to even like solidify a general discovery meeting with this huge manufacturer like ever before. And I was able to get in the door, meet the CEO, and schedule a presentation with the company for like the following week to pretty much seal the deal on the offer I had made. And I was super excited about my presentation because, you know, it was going to be my biggest deal at the time. But pretty much what happened the morning of my presentation, there was an unexpected road work that had occurred the night before. And what happened was it caused 2 lanes to shut down like the next morning during rush hour. And I was losing it. Like, I was trying to figure out alternate routes. I was cussing people out in my head, praying, blowing the horn. I was like, of all days, I was so frustrated. And when I called the company to let them know, you know, I was going to be late for the meeting, no one was answering the phones. I was livid. Like, I was getting the voicemail of like the operating voicemail. I was so upset. It finally hit me. Like, you know, I can't control the traffic. Like, I can't make the cars move any faster. So just trust God and he'll work it out because he knows how important this is for me. And whatever is supposed to happen, it will happen. And I made it to the presentation. And I actually beat the entire executive team there. The executive assistant forgot to tell me that they had their quarterly report breakfast meeting that morning and needed to push my meeting back 1 hour. And I was like, look at God. My presentation went very well. I closed the deal. I was so happy and relieved. And here it is, me arriving to what I thought was 27 minutes late was really me arriving 33 minutes early. Like, so the real lesson wasn't about me being on time. It was about learning to let go, because stressing and panicking and trying to control the uncontrollable didn't change the outcome. And all it did was really like steal my peace in the moment. And God was in control and working in my favor the whole time. I want you to woo-saw, like take a deep breath. Deep breath, sis. If we can trust a chair to hold our big butts up, because you know our butts are bootylicious big, okay? No BBL gang over here. And if we can trust the lights to turn on when we flip the switch, and for the elevator to go up when we hit the button, and the captain of the ship to get us from one port to the next port, if we can like depend on all these things to work for us, even though there are times they failed us, then we have to be able to trust God. God is literally perfect. He has no defects. He sees the entire big picture. And the only thing we have to do is trust him, trust his timing, and trust his process. While prepping for this episode, I was curious to know why we have such a hard time trusting God sometimes. So I researched for the top 3 common reasons we don't let go and let God. And the first reason is because of fear of the unknown. So for the control freaks like me, we don't like the feeling of uncertainty at all. I don't like leaving things in other people's hands. I'm seriously like, I will do it myself because I am unsure how things will play out if I'm not orchestrating solutions myself. And no one can understand this or that like me because they're not in it like I am. So that's like where I find myself not being able to turn whatever the situation is over to God. I am struggling to let it go, like a whole self tug of war. And I know it's silly, but the fear of the unknown is a mofo. It is real. The second reason was because of our egos. How that Beyonce song go? He got a big ego, such a huge ego. Something like that. Don't judge my singing, okay? But that's what it is, with some of y'all. Some of you think you know better than God, and I don't mean that in a blatant, disrespectful way. I mean, all hell could be breaking loose, but your mindset is, if I don't handle this, who will? And that's because we women are used to handling things, solving things, fixing things. That's our nature. But I need for you to know, queens, that God doesn't need your help. He don't need your help, boo. He's got it fully under control. Trust me, you out here thinking you doing the Lord's work, stop. God's got it. The third reason is something we're all sometimes guilty of, and that's impatience. I'm not going to even lie. I have a love-hate relationship with being patient. Sometimes I can appreciate having to wait because I'm like learning something from it. It's teaching me something while I wait. But on the flip side, though, I hate when things are not happening on my timeline. I mean, think about it. At the end of 2019, and at the beginning of 2020, a lot of us had goals and plans set for the new year. And by the time the middle of March 2020 hit, a lot of us had to go back to the drawing board because the pandemic had us locked the heck up in our homes. Child, we was in jail. But low key, I loved it. Woo child. All of my goals and original plans though for that year were in a chokehold. They were done. Done data. I had this amazing girls trip plan. Okay, because me and my friends, we were about to have a good old time on somebody's island, but God stepped in and said, absolutely not. I was hot about it at first, right? And my husband was like, well, at least you get to be home and spend it with me. And I was like, are you serious? I want to go on my trip. I want to go on my girls' trip, but I was hot about it, ended up getting over it. And, but actually, I got over it really quickly when I saw all these amazing, great things God had in store for me that really took me to a completely different level. Okay, the glow up was glowing. God's plan was to completely elevate me during the pandemic, and I haven't looked back since. Like, best plan ever. Yep, but it's the fear of the unknown, our egos, our impatience, and those are pretty much the top 3 reasons we're not relaxing in God and allowing God to control our situations. Instead, a lot of us are living life on edge. Personally, I do think there's one more reason. This just came to me as I'm recording, and I really think God just gave me a revelation here. I think this one may actually hit the nail on the head. And I think this reason will actually surpass all other reasons I just gave you for why we're not letting go and allowing God to take control over things. And I think what it is because we can't see God. God is invisible. Everything else we can see or have visibility into. Like, think about it. We can see the Uber driver. We can see the pilot and his crew when they walk on the plane. We can see the chair we're about to sit in. We can see the light switch we're about to turn on. Those things seem to be more reliable and matter of fact because we can see them. But the only way we can see God or feel his presence is if we're operating in the spirit, because God is a spirit. Yeah, that just really hit me. And if you're not operating in the spirit, how can you really even feel or hear God telling you that he's got this? Okay, go me. Like, this is the moment. Clap, clap, clap. I'm giving myself the claps. Like, I'm making the pieces fit. I'm unraveling the threads, linking the chains. I'm connecting the dots. Okay, queens. OG would be so proud. If you know, you know. But hopefully this is a breakthrough for someone. I think someone desperately needs to hear this to make sense of it all. And what quickly comes to mind for me for how to be in the spirit and how to be able to hear from God is really get more into his messaging, get into his word, praying, meditating, and worshiping. I really hope this is helping someone. Please let me know if it is in the comments. I'd really appreciate it. I want to reiterate, God sees the big picture. For our own clarity, alignment, and peace of mind, we have to let whatever it is we keep holding on to and trying to control, we have to let it go. I'm a witness of seeing how things fall into place effortlessly when we stop forcing what's not working. When you take your hands off of it, when you surrender that relationship, that job, that plan that has not been working out, you're yielding to God. You're telling God, I trust you fully to do what you do best, which is be God. And that's all God wants from you. He wants you to trust him without your interference. I highly doubt on an airplane you're standing up mid-flight and knocking on the cockpit door to ask the pilot to adjust the altitude. Or you're telling a captain of the ship where to anchor the boat or when to pick up knots. Stop. You can't see the big picture. You can't see what the weather conditions ahead of the flight or the ship are. You don't know what the air traffic control is communicating to the pilot or even what the coastal guards are telling the captain. You have to just trust the pilot, which you do, right? You trust the pilot, you trust the captain. And I need you to keep that same energy with God. You have to trust that God knows what he's doing, because he does. Trust in the Lord with all your heart and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways acknowledge him, and he shall direct your path. This is what we have to do in order for us to relax and stay calm when life comes at us fast. We have to live that Proverbs 3:5-6 life. If you can't trust God, then really, who can you trust? Thanks for listening to the Ever Airwaves Think podcast. If today's episode made you elevate, share it with someone who needs it. Until next time, keep questioning until you have those answers. I'm out.